discover the fascinating story of how and why planets are formed.
Hello, this is Tony Clarkson from the Sanctuary of Healing, and I'm here with my good friend Michael Reccia. And Michael today is going to read the next chapter of The Fall, and that is chapter 5.
Yep.
And you might have remembered from previous chapters, I've got a blue copy
Yes.
of The Fall.
Yeah,
and
I've
you've
got the lesser brown copy.
Do you want to show it to the readers?
Yes.
The viewers?
Yeah. Perhaps this is worth more though, Tony, because this was the original one in brown.
I think that's a collector's item.
I think it is. Yeah. I'll be straight onto eBay after this.
So without further ado, Michael is going to read chapter 5, and I gather it's quite a short chapter. Michael.
Thank you, Tony. Chapter 5, the production of form. And this is Joseph talking through me in trance, as always. Good morning to you all. We are taking a moment to adjust the vibrations. There is a depletion in this room, and we are generating light energy to give you the means to deliver the communication. Last time I talked about potential and how planets were first perceived of as potential in angelic minds. And I would like to talk this morning about form and the production of form. I suppose you could say that angelic minds worked and do work, because creation is ongoing, like a council, in that they join together with the purpose of creating opportunities for experience. When likely opportunities have been visualized sufficiently, it is decided by a section of the angelic host that those opportunities shall be brought forth from the dream state, as it were, or the pool of potential, into some level of reality. So a council that has approved a particular project will separate itself in mind or creative activity from the rest of the angelic host to focus its thoughts and creative abilities on the particular project that it has in mind. It then has to bring what is in mind into form. And so there is a joining together of those individuals that are already one, of course, but also share the illusion of individuality from the Godhead and from each other. And there is a coming together of purpose and of visualization in order to bring forth matter outside of and around themselves for the purposes of experience. In the case of the solar system and of the earth, the intentions of the angelic host controlling and bringing forth this area of reality coalesced into bubbles of opportunity that you call the planets, or bubbles of potential and self-contained spheres of experience. Initially, with regard to this solar system, the planets were brought through in a more etheric manner, and we will discuss later in the book how they were then dragged down to how you perceive them in their present state of heavier and darker matter. In the beginning, they were very etheric, and were you to see projects being formed by an angelic council, you would see the tiniest sphere appear from a point of nothing, as the universe appeared from a dot. But within this particular physical universe that exists around you, you would see a dot begin to have being. A dot of light energy, which, with regard to the physics of the physical universe that has also been created by the Godhead and by angelic hosts, would appear to grow in size and relate to the size of other objects within this physical universe. The vision would coalesce and coalesce and coalesce, and would expand and expand and expand, and would be given the illusion of solidity. All this takes place via the minds of the angelic hosts, simply by them agreeing as a unit that certain areas of possibility that they have projected are a good thing to bring forth into physical matter, so that they can be visited by the angelic hosts in rarefied physical matter, in order for those angelic hosts temporarily encased in physical matter to experience, to learn, and to add to their abilities. So they grow together in thought, and they say, yes. It is as simple as yes. Let there be light is really yes. We agree to this. And in agreeing to it, there is a bringing forth of solid matter from the agreement of the project and from the actuation of positivity put into the project. So you would see each of the planets and the solar system beginning as a dot of light that would expand, would grow, and would be given form. Each planet originally was different, as they are now, And each planet, if you could look at it with angelic eyes, was a crystal sphere, some with very delicate etheric crystalline forms and some with heavier crystalline forms, as was the Earth and Venus. Mars was slightly lighter in crystalline identity than the Earth and Venus. If you were to look at the planet as it was originally planned to be and brought through in intention, you would see beautiful colours. You would see plains and higher levels. Mountains exist as an expression of higher form. You won't have realized that or considered it, but higher ground exists as an expression of the desire to have some areas in which you learn certain aspects of spirituality and other areas in which you learn elevated levels of spirituality within the same sphere that has been brought through by the angelic host. What I am trying to explain is that built into the planet are opportunities for growth as the angelic hosts encased in physical matter pass through it. So you have planes that represent one area of opportunity and higher ground that represents more developed, more etheric. How difficult to put this concept into words. Opportunities for advanced growth with regard to the mechanics of the universe and of spiritual reality. The Earth was originally an area of planes of crystal energy and was prepared by the saying yes by the angelic host to an area where angelic individualizations of God could come and experience physical matter. But physical matter more closely related to spiritual intent than physical matter is at the moment. The physical matter that you find yourself in now is a far more dense concentration of physicality than the physical matter that the planet and the solar system were originally made of, and are still made of. Because the solar system, the planets, and the universe are the production and the ongoing desire of a dream via the angelic hosts. The original form of the Earth is still here, behind and through the perception of the planet that you have now. We are not yet at the stage to talk about what went wrong, but as a result of things going wrong, the planet that you see now nests, as it were, the planet that once was the original intention for the Earth. This is also true for the solar system, because the effects of the fall contain this particular solar system within a limiting sphere. Not only has the Earth been masked from its original crystalline state, but the other planets in the solar system have also been affected. I have to tell you that on a different level of perception, there are other planets within this space, and that you are not alone in the planets that you perceive in the solar system. There are two brethren, or two other planets that actually exist on a different level of perception and have escaped the effects of the fall. Although the solar system is encapsulated within a sphere that represents the impingement of the fall on the physical matter in this area, there are two planets within that sphere that remain unaffected. I want you to know that they exist and that they have an effect on the experiences of the occupants of Earth at this time. Just as the other planets in the solar system have an effect on certain karmic opportunities being learned by their position within the sphere of experience that has been darkened by the effects of the fall. And so the angelic host originally brought through a series of spheres. You call them planets, we call them spheres. And at that time there was no need to put on a spacesuit, get into a spaceship and travel between the spheres in that way. Travel between the spheres was a matter of desire of certain experiences. So you could go from Saturn to Jupiter to Mars to Venus to Earth to Mercury to all the planets in the solar system simply by desiring to experience a certain set of circumstances so that you could enhance your spiritual understanding and capability in the construction of ever greater universes and planetary systems. This is the basis behind why the spheres were created in the first place, in order for souls to experience so that they can pass through them and enhance their understanding of themselves, of each other, of God, and their ability and understanding of how to create. The solar system was positioned in a certain way so that there was a specific path through the planets or spheres of experience open to the souls who wish to go through that experience. It was positioned in a certain way so that as the spheres revolved around each other, within the greater sphere, that was a sphere of love created by the angelic council, they would, by their pull and attraction, create opportunities of experience for the souls visiting them. This is why your horoscopes have some basis in fact. And I want to lay down categorically today the fact that there is a mechanism at work in the solar system and in all solar systems, in all galaxies, in all universes, and that the revolution of one sphere around another is to enable, via the attraction and repulsion of molecules of physical matter, certain opportunities to be set up for souls who are traveling through those spheres at that time. The purpose of the Earth and of the planets originally was to act as points of entry on an adventure for souls visiting them. But that adventure was predestined with regard to what those souls required in order to add to their experiences. In other words, the souls did not just visit the crystal beauty of Earth to sit on a plain or to look out from a mountain, but in complete volition and acceptance of this, they agreed to come here so that the movement of the spheres could unfold an adventure for them and could unfold opportunities for them to learn about physical matter, about existence in physical matter, and about the evolution of physical matter. That adventure is still here today and is the pure basis and the original intent of karma. Not for karma to act as the scales of justice, not for karma to be something that causes suffering and restricts spiritual growth through the suffering that it puts around the soul, but for karma to be an adventure and an opportunity to learn. It is the pollution of the original intention of karma that results in the accruing and dispensing with of certain experiences that you experience now as souls passing through physical matter. Karma, at its root and core, is the invitation to and movement through an adventure so that experience can be gained. What kind of adventure? Was it originally an adventure that involved lions and tigers or conflict, capture and manipulation by other human beings? Not at all. Not that type of adventure at all. It was more an adventure of experience via physical senses and contemplation via spiritual ones. An invitation to experience the opportunities of the crystal plane in a million ways, to experience it and to understand it, to go through school, if you like, in the preparation of future universes, solar systems, planets and spheres of activity. To look at the plane and to see the plane, but also to see beyond and within the plane all the aspects, all the potential and all the opportunities that plane has to offer. And the same with the elevated places, and with the roof of the sphere, the sky, and with the depths of the sphere, what lies below the plane. A very different adventure to the ones that you have today, and an adventure dictated by love, by the volition to learn and understand one's craft, and to become more than one was before one visited here. There is a certain amount of pollution when viewing the other planets that exists within this sphere of confinement, I suppose you could call it now. In that originally, from the Earth and from the other planets you were visiting, you could see the other worlds as beautiful, shining, crystal jewels ahead of you in the heavens, or distance between spheres. It is not possible to do that now because the effects of the fall make distances seem greater, make colours seem muddier, and you are perceiving the planets through the eyes of souls encased within the effects of the fall, and not seeing them for the crystalline beauty that they have. Also, your perception of the other planets that are beyond this solar system is muddied by the dulling effect of the vibrations of the fall that are contained within the sphere that also contains the planets in the solar system. So you are not seeing accurately when you look out into the night sky, or when you look out through telescopes or through tracking stations, because all those things have been constructed on the level of reality that has been polluted by the effects of the fall. You look out to space and see wondrous things as you think, but those are only shallow echoes and masked interpretations of what glories you should be seeing when you look out to space, and indeed when you look at each other. When you look at the planet, each other, and the neighboring planets of the solar system, you are not seeing the true representation of what was there and is still there. And when civilization has been wiped out in the past, via its own dependence entirely on the vibrations that exist as a result of the fall, Once the effects of civilization have been taken away, the planet has shone through as what it originally was and is, and will do again if steps are not taken. What we intend is for that crystalline energy to shine through present reality without the need for civilization to be removed so that the planet can breathe again and can pulse at its correct vibration. The end of civilization has happened before, and we hope and we pray, as you know, that it won't happen again. The discussion that we have had today begs the question, is there still an angelic council responsible for the maintenance of the planets within the solar system? And the answer to that is yes. It is the same angelic council that created the solar system in the first place, and therefore you see that that angelic council is not affected by the fall. It is outside of the effects of the fall. It is the angelic children who visited the solar system subsequently, once it was formed, who have become trapped in the effects of the fall. There is, at this very moment, as I communicate this information to you, an angelic council maintaining the planet and the solar system as it should be, as it has been from the moment of its inception, and as it will be, until such time in the future when its construct is considered to have been entirely successful in educating souls. Then it will be reabsorbed into the surrounding matter as the angelic council let go of their vision of what the solar system is and let go of their desire for souls to experience this particular set of values in order to learn. Such complex concepts. But I hope we are filling in some of the blanks so that the whole will make sense. And at this point, Joseph invited questions that we will cover in our next video.
Michael, thank you so much. I've said this before, but every time I read the book, every time I listen to you narrating the book, something new crops up for me that I find amazing. So
Such an important book.
Oh, such an important book. Anyway, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I look forward to the next chapter will be questions and answers, yeah?
Indeed.
So I do hope you've got as much out of that as I have yet again. And thank you for watching. And if you've enjoyed it, please press the subscribe button. And we look forward to seeing you both all very soon. Thank you very much indeed. Bye-bye.
Take care. God bless.
God bless.